Welcome back to the Elusive Truth with Rich and Larry. It's been a while since we've had our last podcast. A lot's been going on in this crazy clown world of ours. I believe we just needed more time to spend with our family, and the reality is we're working crazy hours just to make ends meet. With that, let's get started. I have Larry here with me, and let's jump down that rabbit hole. Have a listen. Gary, it's been such a long time since we've been able to talk. It's been almost 2 months. Part of it is my fault because I'm just so disgusted with everything that's been taking place.
It is hitting us that way.
It's just very depressing, and it's just like it's nonstop, constant being hit up with all this craziness. I mean, look,
nothing's happening.
Yeah, it feels like nothing's happening. We're just getting thrown into worse conditions. Starting with Israel was hit by
it's going
the
on 2
Hamas.
months now.
I mean, just terrible all the way around for everybody involved. I'm not trying to pick sides, but it's just bad news there. And nothing good is coming out of this. And my problem is that I've been looking at this from like an outsider's view, kind of just looking like at a broad picture.
Yeah.
And my whole feeling is this is all planned. This is not...
It looks too perfectly planned.
Yeah, with everything going on with the United States and what's happening in the Middle East and what's with Iran, and it just...
Nothing looks like it really is. Everything looks fake.
Right. There's an agenda. I mean. There's something taking place. Like, or the latest crazy stuff is Ireland. They've been having, riots and stuff like that and they're trying to say it's the immigrants that are causing this, and it's not the immigrant. I mean, everything is so polluted.
Oh, right down to our 2024 fake election candidacy. They have these people putting on shows like there's going to be a 24 election and like they could possibly even beat Trump.
Yeah, well, that brings me up to the next thing is the media. They think we are the dumbest people of all time. 1 minute Trump's up, and now the latest, they just showed Biden's up again. How did Biden get up? It's
all manipulated and rigged on their thing.
Yeah, I don't care what they say. Biden couldn't beat a fly anymore. It's been proven. He has cognitive decline. He has done nothing good for this country. He's the most corrupt cabinet of all time in his presidential history. He is just one bad apple.
We could go down the line on everything with just knocking Biden.
It's terrible, but
so
people
obvious.
are like, Biden, open your eyes.
You know why I think some of them think that Obama is still pulling his strings for him, and he's the puppet of Obama.
Surprised me.
That's what a lot of people think.
Because one of the things that I do know and what I understand, there's no way Biden's doing anything. He can barely even walk up and down stairs. He can barely even talk. So he's not pulling any strings whatsoever. He's being directed. And the people that surround him are the people that are getting information or directives from such as Obama or anybody else.
Telling him to read the teleprompter.
Exactly. It's terrible.
Well, I'm glad we can catch up a little, Rich. Just briefly, some of our faithful followers are probably missing us.
Well, yeah, and again, we're still talking about this BS that's going on with our economy, with our governments, the distrust. I mean, because I can't stand our government even more. Coming from somebody that grew up in Baltimore, Maryland, the United States, I went into the Marine Corps. Like, I love this country, and I still love this country, but I really thought our government was the bee's knees, so to speak. But, wow. When you get older, I had no idea. We become more intelligent.
We still are everything you thought.
It's just the people running it right now.
We need to clean up the government. Yes, we're a beautiful nation and just beautiful people, loving. Just like all the Iranian people are beautiful.
But exactly. That's my next point I was going to say. I am sure there's Iranians that are just perfectly normal, and it's the stupid government that's perpetrating all this violence and everything. Just like going back to Ireland, they're saying that the Irish are the racist and they're all white, this and that. And I've been watching comments. It says Irish people are some of the most loving, caring people in the world. They don't have as much issues as they try to say that we have here. But again, it's manipulation.
It's not promoted over there to be division and racist either, probably.
Right.
Like, it's all promoted here.
Right. I saw an interview Poland, because Poland says we don't want one migrant coming in illegally.
And that's something wrong with that?
and they have the cleanest streets, the safest streets, and the best economy, and they help everybody out because they don't have this influx of all these migrants demanding or needing care. It makes sense, but
And they don't vet them. They just come in and have no idea what they're getting.
That's the problem.
It's so hard to get into America in the past. You had to get vetted.
Yeah. Okay, and the next thing is, look what's happening in New York City with all the migrants, and the people are getting fed up with it.
They're not happy about it.
And what's the solution? We're cutting the police even more.
Oh,
yeah. Well, because we got to pay for the migrants. But the worst thing is that the people that are already homeless, we don't care about you. We only care about the migrants that came across illegally, and we're trying to take care of them. But meanwhile, it's spiraling out of control.
Oh, they're going to just probably take purchase a big old Hilton hotel and fill it up with all of them. And,
for only 30, 60 days, but then they find out those places are horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, because it's out of control in there. It's terrible. And we keep talking about, the sex slavery and all this crazy.
Yeah.
It just, the human trafficking is even worse now. Oh, we don't have a problem. But yet it's worse that we can talk about a movie Netflix came out with Cuties.
Oh, yeah. Sounds of Freedom.
Sound of Freedom is the worst movie ever, but Cuties is a good one. Then we know we're in an upside down world, an alternate reality. Something took place because there's no way. Or what was the latest
Exposing the pedophilias around the world should have been a big movie.
Right. Elon Musk yesterday came out with a new meme on Pizzagate, and people are livid.
It's real.
Because 10 million people watched it, and that's 10 million more people that go, Pizzagate? What's Pizzagate?
Yeah.
And they start talking about it. I was like, no, it can't be true.
How many years have we been talking about it?
Oh, it's been going on ever since Obama was in.
know.
With that poor pizza shop in D.C.
He's mentioned me, Elon Musk. I'm jumping around. I don't want to forget it. You hear on the radio, they got all the clips. All the radios are loving it now. Bob Iger, the CEO of Disney, did you hear what Elon said to him?
Well, it might be different context. Lately with Elon Musk, and
they're cutting
Disney,
off all their advertising.
Right, and they asked Elon, and goes, well, what is that going to do? And Elon goes, F you, I don't care.
That's right.
It's all going to come out in the wash. He goes, you're trying to bribe me with money? Go away.
It's worth $100 billion.
Yeah, go away. I don't want to. I don't care if you don't advertise with X.
Yeah.
And that is, it makes me go, wow, because one minute they tell me Elon is bad, and the next minute he's for the people and for non-censorship, but then if you sit back and look, it goes, oh, I see what's going on.
I think he's got controllers and handlers of what he should say and do.
I'm sure he does, but it goes back to the media. They have a narrative that they got to keep pushing, and Elon is bad, where actually Elon, in my opinion, looked like
love him for everything.
He's doing better. He's doing good. At least he seems to be transparent. But again, I don't know the guy.
He's on the right side.
I only hear what I see from the news, and at least this is good information because they're trying to bash Elon because Disney's pulling their advertising.
That's how you know he's doing something right.
Exactly.
Anytime you start getting bashed and attacked.
And on the same note, they actually, I guess Disney actually said that they're losing a lot more money than they ever expected to be on this wokeness.
Well, that should bring since you got Disney on, the difference between Disneyland in Cali and Disney World in Florida. Disneyland in Cali shut down during the vid.
Yep.
And lost like billions and billions. And what did Ron DeSantis do?
Yeah, he kept it open.
Not that
or
I'm saying
pushing
Disney
him to stay
is good
open.
or anything, but the fact that you could see the difference between the left coast and the west coast.
Yeah, there's a huge difference. And it goes back to that crazy Governor Newsom that they're now saying is going to be the presidential forerunner. I'm like, that guy is the most evilest person out there.
And
and California is on fire, and it's sinking into the ocean as we speak, and there's nothing.
I think he actually committed suicide a while back.
You know what? I don't, because there's too much death and strife in this world. And to change things around, you have to listen to Russell Brand a little bit more about peace, love, helping each other out, getting rid of this negativity, getting rid of this evilness, and start thinking and not worshiping, but exploring our personal abilities to take care of ourselves and look for that higher power with whether the pineal gland or whatever.
We have it all in us.
Exactly.
You're right. We are it. We are everything there is.
Yeah, that's what the I guess the higher ups are so afraid of, is that if we all band together, they have no power.
Yeah.
With keeping us separated, black and white, white against the Chinese or whatever, or the Iranians and Palestinians, or they keep us fighting. We don't have a chance to work together.
They love division.
Yes.
Yes.
And the stuff that's been happening in Europe, in Great Britain, I mean, they're more woke than I had thought they ever would be. And then, like I said, with Ireland, they want to censorship even more free speech because free speech is bad for the population. And
I think this is all coming out enough to put a stop to it. I think so. I think it's getting everyone awakened to this and saying, hey, we can't go the AI route. AI really is helpful, but it needs to be controlled.
Right. And beyond that, we have to start taking responsibility for ourselves. We don't like living in a Chicago doom area. We need to clean the house. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If we let these other people run our lives and we go about our business, this is what happens. Just like right now, we're worried about work and what we have to do to work to pay our bills and stuff. I don't have time to know what Biden's doing or his cabinet or, I don't have any, going back to I tell people, I have no control over what Iran or Israel and Palestine do to each other. Whether I have a thought on it or not, it doesn't change anything.
We got to be our own creative persons.
Right.
To do what we can do.
Exactly. And I hope, I don't know, it's just crazy. Like I said, I don't know what I was talking about, is that I hope Israel can recover from this. I hope the Palestinians can. Obviously, the main focus is Hamas. I know nothing about these people backed by Iran. That's what the media is telling me. But going back to what Trump says, that all death must stop. We need to stop right here.
Yeah.
And we need to have a dialogue or discussion on how we can live peaceably with each other. And apparently that's worse than the worst thing he could ever say.
That's
just
so
like
terrible.
We had a coworker saying that, Trump's a good businessman, but he's horrible with the military and horrible with stuff with other countries and other nations. And it was like, he brokered a peace deal with the Middle East.
He never was the only president.
He pulled everybody out of wars. He stopped this.
Yeah.
And the war machine, all these people that with the nuclear, or not nuclear, but they have all the weapons of mass destruction, all this, they make no money when it's like this. They control everything. It goes back to the businesses.
The cabal has always played both sides.
Yes, and
of a war.
They try to confuse everybody. What's worse about it, and I get so frustrated, is that I saw another piece where Biden apparently was sending money to certain people in the Middle East to fight the Israelites. And then we send money for the Israel to go back and forth. So just like we're playing both sides of the fence.
It goes way
and then
back.
It goes back and it goes, well, when did this all start happening? As I remember, and I wasn't into politics back then, but remember Oliver North and the Salvador
issue.
Exactly. Well, there's a whole bunch that were the CIA were funding both sides of the war, getting a boxing match going, but using war.
Hey,
it's like, oh my goodness.
First place I surfed down in Costa Rica was Ollie's Point. And I thought, oh, cool, whatever. I never thought it was Oliver North's Point. It's where he had his ships set up, and he would go into Costa Rica and then up into Nicaragua with the Contra rebels and was, funding this stuff.
Yeah, like supplying them with weapons and giving them money so they get this going. And then I remember watching, he was, I don't know, was it a Senate or some type of court thing?
Some hearings.
Right, and he had his hand up, and I swear to tell the truth, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, I'm just following orders. And then they'd stop it right there because they don't want to let the people know who gave out those orders. Just like this whole thing with Epstein. They don't want us to know anything about that. They got Ghislaine Maxwell in prison. Epstein's reportedly dead.
No.
But all the people that were involved in this, crickets.
Crickets. They're not chirping anymore.
Because the problem is that the people that were involved in this are all the money makers. They're all the people making the deals. But they don't want us to know that stuff. It's crazy. And to think that, I don't live in New York anymore, but that Governor Hochul, my God, she's an evil woman. And they think I don't understand.
Look at our governor. All these governors just got in through the fix of the 2022 midterms.
Right. And the reason why I brought up the governor of New York, because the latest thing I saw is that something passed where if we have a pandemic or something they have the right to take you out of your house and put you into a concentration camp.
Emergency declarations.
Exactly. And it's like, whoa, wait a second there, folks. If you're going to start doing that, there's no way.
Under the guise of emergency, they think they can
pull anything. We're going to pull you and we're going to put you in a camp so you don't infect others and this.
Oh no, we're going to feed you.
Yeah, we're going to feed you, house you, take care of you, at the taxpayer's expense, which the taxes are grossly out of proportion now. It's just horrible with everything that's going on with inflation, the cost of living, housing, and then we have all these migrant surges. I mean, it's like we didn't even...
Our border issue is so sad, but...
It's the same thing that we were talking about a year or 2 years ago.
We're not even talking doom and gloom. We're just talking what some of the problems are that we're living with. There's a lot of doomsdayers out there that think this is just the worst, but it is coming around, Rich. I have to tell you that.
Well, that's what I wanted to hear because we talked like the first half of this part.
I know, we were a bit doo-doo-doo.
It's weighing heavily on us. It's getting depressing. It's like, why are we doing this? I can't see the out. And with the manipulation of the media just going nuts. So I want to hear some good news. I want to hear something that says, hey, we're on the right path. Things will get better. We'll have people in place that actually care about humans, care about the public, care about the world, and will make this a better place to live. But right now, they are just pitting us against each other. And you're a Nazi, you're a racist, you're a white scumbag. And there's constantly getting beaten down every single day. And yet, again, I have no control over this. I have to wake up. I have to go to work. I have to work for these people that tell me what to do, and then I get to go home and listen to more of these atrocities committed by people that they keep letting back out of jail. They don't put them in the jail. The district attorneys, the judges, it's just...
They're even allowing car thievery now. Did you know that?
Well, yeah, they let you steal.
Yeah.
That's horrible. So I want to hear some good news. What is happening? And as much as I want Godslewski to tell us, Godslewski 2.0, I want something good to come out of this. I'm still waiting for that EBS system to come up to give me the good news.
Right.
That the government has been shut down, the military's taken over, and they're getting things back into gear, which is...
That could be the kickoff.
Again, that could be the kickoff, or it's another prolongation or stagnation of stuff to happen in the real world, but something has to happen.
It is, and it is so difficult to pinpoint with it when it's being so massive that you think you're doing something really huge here, and there's 30 other huge things attached to it. I mean, it's just like boom, boom, boom. That's how so many of these things we just discussed, just 5 topics are huge.
Yeah.
But we're going to have a banking collapse.
I've been hearing that too.
I know. You've been hearing that. We are going to have the banking failures because we can't go on with the system as it is. B of A was just $600 billion in the last quarter in debt. How can you recover from 600 B? Evergrande, the big one in China, that was the largest housing company in China. Remember they had the Evergreen stuck in the U.S. Canal? It was called Evergreen. The name of the company was
right.
Evergrande. That was all part of the plan, too. They took it down. They took down Evergrande now. They just went bankrupt. All the big U.S. banks, the world banks, are going bankrupt. Done. They're going to be completely redone.
See, and the crazy thing, again, this is more negativity.
Our stock market's going to crash.
That doesn't mean it's good. I mean, it seems like this is doom and gloom.
In order to get better. You want to demolish a building before you build a new one.
Right.
If that building is old and decrepit and corrupt, what do you got to do with it?
With that analogy, that makes sense. And I did see also the other day is that I saw an article where District of Columbia in Washington, D.C. said they outlawed people from being strictly debit society. You have to be able to accept cash as a form of currency. So that's a plus. Great. Because you have all these other places like New York is going digital and the world's going digital.
They can control your currency.
Right, or they cut you off if they don't like what you say or do.
That ain't going to happen.
But in Washington, D.C., somebody had enough forethought to go, hey, no, businesses must accept cash, period. So to me, that is a plus in the right direction in all of this banking scandal and everything, because the one thing is that, hey, digital sounds good on the surface, but what if we lose power? What if the computers go down? What if AI deletes all of our funds? How are we going to survive and move on?
And they're doing that right now with people's bank accounts.
Yeah. Starting with Justin Trudeau, that hypocrite in Canada, who says he is for the people, this and that took away money from people that supported the truckers, froze their bank accounts, or because they have a different political view, we're going to squash you.
Right.
Which come full circle, let's talk about the Ukraine. Poor little Zelensky is having trouble getting money now, isn't he? Because people are tired of taking our tax money and sending billions to them to God knows what's going on over there. Because again, we're not getting the right story. I'm not controlling the dollars in or out. You have to take it at face value. You have to have faith and hope. But the problem is the people that are our leaders, we cannot have faith and hope in because they're proving us that they don't care about us.
All a politician does is they never compromise. It's in order to keep their gig going.
They're lining their own pockets.
Many times laws could have been produced where both sides were, 95-1, where they went for it. But they never would. They'll hold their party line and make it just pass by 1 or 2 votes. Oh, yeah, you got this one in. It's completely a whole rigged government system. We got to minimize our government. What do we need? 388 congressmen and all this stuff. We can get by with 10 or 20.
I think a lot of that also goes back to the root of it, that these politicians should serve no more than 6 years or 8 years and be done and get a fresh face in there. They're not there to make money like Pelosi and AOC. They're in these positions and they make millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Whereas, are you working at Macdonald's? Are you going to make $1 million if you work there all your whole life? No.
Never.
If you work for GM your whole life, are you going to make millions of dollars? No. And I'm not talking, the president and CEOs. I'm talking about the workers, the actual...
Keep the whole economy going.
Right. None of us are going to make millions of dollars like that. We are trudging to live paycheck to paycheck just to keep the heat on, just to keep the autos going, just to keep food in our bellies for our family. And we are the bad people.
Well, that's why bankers doing these cheap loans for everybody become a debt slave.
Yes. And that's what I saw another thing. Everybody's doom spending right now. We're spending because there's going to be no tomorrow, so we might as well get what we have now because everything's going to collapse. And once it collapses, we're going to have nothing. So you better get it now while you have a chance.
It's going to be the opposite. We're going to thrive and thrive and thrive. It's coming.
Well, and that's what we want to hear,
yep.
Especially since what's going on with, like I said, we started this podcast so we could explore more of the supernatural, the unknown, UFOs, aliens,
right.
Bigfoot, cryptids, stuff like that. And that's the least that we talk about.
I know.
It's like a distraction now. If you go look, there's an article every day about aliens flying over here and like Brazil and, running around. Or what was Mexico had them fake mummy aliens or whatever. And that they're real, they're fake, they're real, they're fake. Meanwhile, Biden is trying to pull our guns away from us. Biden is trying to do this. And again, they say it's Biden. It's not Biden. That guy doesn't do anything.
And it's not even Gavin Newsom either. he committed suicide, I think.
When I think that people that if they harm others, and especially in a position as a governor, and you're harming hundreds of thousands of people in your state, you need to be held accountable for that. They don't hold these people accountable for nothing. And we're going back to when they had mask mandates and they had the lockdowns. What was Gavin doing? He's out having dinner at fancy restaurants, maskless, with all his buddies laughing at us, how easily we are to be controlled.
And now they want to even control our kindergartners. And they want indoctrination to start at kindergarten.
Yeah. Remember that crazy freaking girl, Greta Thunberg?
Yeah.
Turdberger, or whatever her name was? Uh-huh. And she's like,
how dare you?
Yeah, how dare you? And in the year 2000, in 5 years, we're going to be underwater from the collapse of the ice and da-da-da-da. Well, here we are 20 years later. We're still at the same level. Climate control is just something to get people buzzed up and worried about, and it has nothing to do with nothing. Mother Nature is stronger than we could ever imagine, and she's going to be pissed, and she's going to set everything straight. And that's who you have to count on, Mother Nature, not climate control. You know, they're trying to even tell us that European countries are mad at the United States because they said Americans eat too much beef and the cattle are creating too much CO2. Yeah. And we need to change our eating habits and eat bugs. You know what? If that's what you think, you go eat the bugs. I'm eating the cow. Sayonara, I don't want to hear your stuff. And, you know, and then if we go on the tangent on food, our food is being poisoned.
Every bit of it.
Just 1 month ago it said, spices have lead and arsenic and all this in it. And I saw something today, hot cocoa has high amounts of metal and stuff in it now. And we're not even talking about the bioengineered crap. And, I mean, it's just getting out of hand.
Well,
and I think what it does is that we have to take a stand and we have to start being proactive, watch what we eat, do the moderation thing.
And clean water.
Exactly. But we have to join together and we have to stop worrying so much, me, because that's part of it. But we have to be able to give and help our fellow citizens out, our fellow man, regardless of the color we are. To change the subject, we need to talk about what we really wanted to talk about. And I have explained to you about Night God 333. And he has come up with this latest thing about this city in Antarctica, New Schwabenland.
Schwabenland.
Crazy stuff. At first, you would think that this is conspiracy theory. This is all, fiction. But dude, there could be some merit to this. Remember, Admiral Byrd led an expedition to go find Germans on the Antarctic. And he went prepared for 3 months, but after 30 days, bolted and came back with these fantastic stories. And the next thing you know, Admiral Byrd, who was the most decorated naval person of all time, that they empowered all of this machinery and personnel to go find this. And then when they come back, he explained what took place and they shut him down. Right?
The cabal was bigger than him at the time.
Well, and again, it's conspiracy theory. This is, far-fetched tall tales. Why does every major leader of the world go to Antarctic?
And then it's restricted only to the few.
Exactly.
You can't go down there.
And they say it's under the protection of the natural environment. They don't want humans messing it up. Yet, Obama went down there.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah, there's a whole thing on that. Well, I mean, again, the internet's so full of crap, but they
Is it a continent?
It's a huge continent. And there's so much mystery about it. They say one of the largest pyramids ever known to man is in the Antarctic.
And they said that's where actually Hitler took off and faked his death in Germany.
It's a whole 9 yards. There's a whole thing. Well, they said in Argentina. And Argentina is a major port on the way to Antarctic. That's where all the expeditions stop, reload, get their stuff to go there. And there's some crazy stuff.
It's the only place closest to the ice wall.
It is close to the ice wall because that's where the ice wall is.
Yeah.
And then, talking about that, I've been seeing stuff about the latest rocket that Musk sent up there trying to break through the firmament.
They can't. They can't penetrate.
Yeah, nothing supersedes God
No.
and His almighty wisdom.
You might see a wave of wind.
They showed it.
When they hit it, like hitting a stone in the
This
water.
is like last week, 2 weeks ago, he sent some stupid thing up there. And it showed it just as you described it, the wave and, that type of just nuts. And it's like, wow, it's becoming so blurred of what is real and what's not. And because of, I keep saying it's media manipulation, but it's more than that. It's like it's just the cabal's playbook.
This is all. It's like crazy dangerous to talk about it because you're a nutty flat earther.
Right. Or, okay, back in the day when I was in high school, you talk about UFOs, or you're going to go to the funny farm.
Yeah.
And now UFOs are like, UFOs, aliens, who cares?
Know it is.
I need to get money to go buy bread or break into a Nike store because I'm feeding my family, according to some politicians' AOC. You know what I mean? It just, there's so much misinformation that we're in a point right now is that it's hard to tell what is true, what is not. And then you got this guy, Night God, exposing New Schwabeland and all sorts of...
That's because the mainstream media controls the narrative that the public gets.
Isn't that nuts? That's just totally nuts that they would do something like that. And that brings me up to why I wanted to talk again, because James just had another on Saturday, one of his As the World Talks or whatever, as talk radio.
As you wish.
Yeah, As You Wish radio. And, and he touches on that. And as much as I want some hope and to believe in this, it's just funny. And that's what brings me full circle, because you probably didn't look, but I sent you 2 videos of James playing the flute like he's an American Indian.
I watched that one. That's a Peruvian.
And I'm not laughing at that because I think it's cool, but James, you're part of the Galactic Federation. What are you doing dinking around with your flute?
Trying to learn some notes on a Peruvian flute.
Oh, my goodness. And meanwhile, he's trying to, conquest Hawaii with his new SETI 2 area.
Yeah, we're going to have to do SETI 2.
We need to go to Mount Adams and we need to crack the code.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, because there's stuff happening. And this is, you know what I mean? This is crazy stuff.
We'll take the dirt bikes and go up in there as deep as we can and bring some drones.
But we need some mining stuff and some flashlights and video documentation so we can show the world that this is,
If they don't capture us.
I want to be captured and I want to have to show it so that people will see. But with everybody being so crazy, they just dismiss it. Just like what we just watched, that Night God presentation.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously there's more research and more stuff to be going into it, but I guarantee you that there's bits and pieces that we'd be like, wow, this is intriguing.
Yeah.
This could be factual.
How about their own geodome of electricity they built to cloak it?
Well, I mean, I believe that because even in this modern day with everybody with 4K video, this and that, and we see a video of a spaceship, and why does it look so grainy? Why does it look so crappy, like a potato filmed it? And it's because there's some type of electromagnetic frequency interference. And we're now starting to believe that frequencies hold the key to everything.
It is.
Whether the Earth's natural frequency, HARP, all these other things are manipulating frequencies to block, jam, suppress, enlighten. I mean, that's all it was. That's why back in the day, I always thought this, cathedrals, back in medieval times, if there were ever a time, every church had organs. Boom, frequencies heal. Frequencies make you feel better. And that's why they had people coming every Sunday to get rejuvenated.
It reminds me of, I went to a rave one time, and it was low frequencies. You went into this rave, and there was hundreds of people, all just bizarre.
All right. I was in the music industry. I did a lot of stuff with amphitheaters and music and all sorts of different type of music. And I remember a rave came to one of our facilities, and I was like, this is going to be crazy, all these hippie or all these earth children dancing to this thumping music. But you know what? When that stuff started playing, I felt good. It was energized. I felt part of something, and everybody with the boom, boom,
It was
boom, boom,
amazing.
and the that type of, just craziness. But
you felt it.
You did. You felt it, and I felt good, and I felt happy or pleasant about everything going on. It's just weird.
Just from the frequencies.
Yes. The stuff that they're pumping into the air.
And that each
and
person
all the
was
people
putting out around you.
Exactly. The auras and all this.
Wow.
See, there's more into that. And if we would stop and actually look into this more and on a more personal level, we would see.
We can enlighten ourselves more as to...
Right. Just like I told you with your ailments that you're trying to take care of, there's frequencies that help bombard and take care of this cancer.
Yeah.
And stuff. And I'm telling you, it has to be. And that's what we see with the frequencies melt rock. They levitate rock. They levitate stuff. They make you feel good. They take care of stuff. It's all frequencies.
Hey, it goes right back to the Bible. How did the walls of Jericho fall?
Trumpets. And what is trumpets doing?
They're frequencies.
Exactly.
Wow.
And like you said, everything is in plain sight. But it depends on how many blinders do we have to either accept it or just discard it with this is nonsense?
Well, Night God just said they have anti-gravity technology down there already.
Yes.
Anti-gravity. That's how the pyramids were probably put together.
Right. And then the latest thing that I saw on this anti-gravity, it goes back to frequencies. Yes.
Oh.
Frequencies
well, this
are...
is a good one. Save this one for another future...
oh, yeah. We're going to do more research on it.
We can edit it all, and we'll look into it more.
Yeah, but there's going to be a lot more on this, and that just goes back. It's another little tidbit.
I'm only 5 minutes into it with you.
Yeah, and it's another little tidbit on Antarctic. Like I said, if you go back and just go and read what Admiral Byrd said he discovered there, and then... going back to these other maps that are 100 years before we even knew Antarctica was there, but they have it down precision, right?
The South Pole is way more remote than our North Pole. Because, I wonder what's happening at the North Pole is my thing.
Well, that's the other thing. Now we're going to come back to the climate change, where they're saying that all the ice caps are melting and the water's rising, this and that. And I just saw something crazy. They're saying, yeah, it's melting here, but it's getting ice on this other side.
It's going frozen elsewhere.
It's a cycle.
Yeah.
Taken away is getting replaced. And
there's only so much water on Earth, and it just keeps recycling.
And I know
the same water.
The way I decided to figure this out is that if Obama is going to go plunk down $30 million for a place on the beach so he can retire and live out his days, but climate change is going to drown him, why would Obama go buy that place?
Oh, yeah.
Never, ever, ever. It's a farce. They're just trying to herd us into these cattle-like places so the rich can go live and do what they want, just like they did in Hawaii.
Oh.
They decimated Hawaii so Oprah can build her minions and have only her friends be in a certain area.
It becomes like their elite playground.
Exactly. And we know this is true is because what was on Epstein's Island? His little pedophilia stuff?
In the submarines?
What about the islands around him, owned by the richest people?
Yeah.
They try to keep this to themselves.
So nobody could...
this is their place, and their power. No one except who they want can go there and do this. And here it is.
And then they blackmail you for bad things you do.
Yep. I'm telling you. That it comes full circle, and that's why James with the SETI tries to enlighten us.
I got to listen to his show.
So do I because I kind of fluff him off because then I see a small tidbit of him being the piccolo flute player that he is. You know what I mean? I was like, wow, this is nuts. I just didn't think James would. I don't care what James does and how he does his things, but it just seemed like, oh, by the way, I basket weave too. Because I'm going to make a basket, so when Thor comes down from the Interplanetary Galactic Federation, he's got a gift to give him. And Thor don't need no basket. Thor don't need no piccolo playing. I'm just saying, wow. We're hit so many different ways that even the simplest thing becomes ridiculous, which is probably the most important part, because why is he playing the flute? Because of the frequencies.
Yeah.
Because it makes him feel better. It makes others feel better listening to that.
Music is so powerful.
And that's what it is. And that's why music is in our cars, it's in our homes, it's in our elevators, it's wherever we are, because it's a form of manipulation. And now we're getting to see like groups like, what's that guy, Travis Scott with his satanic BS and all this. It's out there in front of us. And
we got all the good ones like Tom Macdonald.
Well, and that's just another one. Just Tom Macdonald, but other people. Chinchilla, Ren, all these no-name people that actually have a voice, that have a message, but we're suppressing it because we don't want the masses to get to like it. That's what it is. It's all about control. It's manipulation. The way that they did with our religions. It is this massive undertaking that's been going on for years and years and years. I'm not even years, but decades. I mean, millennia.
Thousands of years, hundreds of years.
Coming back from the Egyptians.
Yeah.
You know, and how they try to say Egyptians did this. And like, no, the Egyptians didn't build the pyramids. They lived in it and they used part of it. But there's so much more out there. This notion that people, like let's say in Egypt, had no idea what was happening in North America, yet there's Egyptian-like crap in the Grand Canyon and pyramid stuff. And again, they're trying to suppress us. They're trying to make us weak-minded, that we can only depend on the governments for information and governments to feed us and take care of us and make us prosper. Whereas you said it earlier in our podcast, we have the power individually. We have the power ourselves to enlighten. We have the power to make us feel better. We have the power to make the globe harmonious. No conflict. No evil. We have that ability to battle
raise
this.
The whole frequency on Earth by us.
Yep, higher vibrations.
Yes.
And the people that you run into in your lifetime have already told you, you're the bridge. You're the star traveler. You're the one that's bringing people together. There's little bits in all of us that take care of this and make this happen.
Everyone's been incarnated for this journey, for this time.
Yep. Even Val is here for a reason.
Yeah, we all are.
Everybody is.
Yep.
And together, we make a whole. Individually, we can do it, but they have found a way that if they keep us individualized and not networking with each other, we become less. We become dependent on their views, their orders, their ideas, and not suppressing ours. You know what I mean? They suppress our views and our ideas. And somebody like James with SETI helps open it up and makes us think.
Oh, yeah.
And all the people James has on those shows, you might think they're crackpots, but I bet you they have some sort of
credentials of everything they've done.
And some sort of message that clicks and resonates with people that changes our ideas.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, we think of greys and reptilians and stuff like that, but how many different versions of species are out there?
Oh, man. He's doing the good work and doing what he does.
Exactly. So with that, that's how we should need to end our show, because we have enlightenment and we have something to look forward to, and we want to know. We want to be better as people. Because you do all this negativity and you have this evilness, it comes to a point that there's nothing left. But if we follow the righteousness and we take care of each other and we have that self-enlightenment, the universe is ours.
Oh, you got it, Rich.
So,
that's beautiful.
Anyway, my friend, I'm glad that we were able to stop by and get this out. And we got to keep, I know I even have to say to myself that I can't be depressed over this. And as much as they keep throwing this negativity at us and this Biden economics and all this trash and that they're throwing down our throats, take a deep breath.
There's a bigger plan out there.
Be peaceful, love thy neighbor, love thyself, move forward. Everybody is beautiful. And everybody is worth something. Everybody. Not just them, not the left, not just the right. You know,
that's part of their division.
Yeah,
Well, I wish I could tell you that. Anybody always says, especially the Miss Americas and Miss Universe contests. Well, what could you do? Oh, I want world peace. I want world peace. I think our Earth is going to be getting world peace soon. They're going to sign contracts and accords with all the big boys, all the big nations, that they can never do any aggression towards another nation. How would you like that?
That would be a harmonious world. That would be.
That's a start. No nukes ever.
Yeah, we're not here to kill. We're here to help nurture and help populate and spread the good news.
It has to be done worldwide because you just can't have one, building up for no reason. I thought we were past all the wars in my lifetime.
I thought for sure that we learned from our wars in our past, that we're moving forward.
But talking World War III.
It's like resetting. Let's go backwards.
Yeah.
And that's what drives me nuts, and it's backwards on everything. Why do you defund the police to have more crime and don't lock them up? And then wonder, why is it all the stores leaving? And why is it they're making it harder for us to be individual?
And the other flip side of that, we're not turning to communism either.
Or socialism.
No.
Freedom, individual rights as a whole.
Freedom for all in the world.
Yes.
That's the biggest thing we could hope for.
Yep, I don't care what country you come from, what color you are. You're a beautiful person. You have something to offer. There's no reason why I need to hate you or hate that, or that needs to be coming out of our vocabulary. And that goes back to that enlightenment.
Well, children don't see skin color.
No, they're happy. They're born with that, and that we lose that as we get older. We lose that with the conditioning that they throw on us. And now it's now time to take it back and empower ourselves.
Yes, indeed.
So
we need just spread the love.
Yep. Well, we're spreading it one thing at a time, and maybe one person listens to this and goes, hey, they're on to something.
Yeah. And
they start looking into this, and they start deciding that, yes, we are the power, not them. And we are self-sustainable, so we need to act that way. We don't need to depend on everybody for everything. Like I said, we don't elect a governor, a president, a mayor for them to tell us what we need to do.
Well, I think every human being is created in their own way. Like they say, there's no two snowflakes alike.
Yep. But again, there's doppelgangers. People swear they see this and that.
No, we're all created.
Exactly. Completely different. All right, my friend. You take care. Happy holidays. I know we missed Thanksgiving, Halloween, that whole 9 yards. But that was a time to reflect and, spend time with the family and try to tune out all this negativity. And that's what I did. And now we have the, Christmas coming up. December 1st is tomorrow. It's
3 weeks away.
Yes. And again, it's not about the buying and all this, but it's a time to stop doing what we're doing and enjoy what we have. Believe in ourselves, believe in the higher power, move forward. We're going to have, they want to make doom and gloom for 2024, but 2024 is going to be the bang that we've never seen. It's going
to be one of the biggest years of humanity.
Yes. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you, my friend. God bless you, Rich.
Yep, and we'll see you soon. You take care.
All right.
All right, bye-bye.
Unlock my phone and watch the world die. They crying to God while they run for their lives. Blood in the streets, bombs in the sky. Goodbye. I hope you had dreams come true. I hope they see in their crosshairs what I see in you. And I hope and I pray, 'cause it's all I can do. I don't understand who is good or bad. They don't care as long as you got oil sands. We need something fast, we need something bad. More than guns and tanks. Where is Superman? Oh, where's Superman? Oh, where is Superman? I turn on the news and watch the world fight. Thousands of men making widows of wives. I'll be home soon, walked off in the night. Goodbye, I will remember you. I know it's shoot or be shot, and they're men just like you. But I hope and I pray, 'cause that's all I can do. I don't understand who is good or bad. They don't care as long as you got oil sands. We need something fast, we need something bad, more than guns and tanks. Where is Superman? Oh, where is Superman? Oh, where is Superman? Soon you won't need a TV or an iPhone to see, because you will look out the window and boom. I don't understand who is good or bad. They don't care as long as you got oil sands. We need something fast, we need something bad, more than guns and tanks. Where is Superman? Oh, where is Superman? Oh, where is Superman?